Medicaid and Medicare to speak up for themselves. They feel like they have to take it. So they stay passive and they remain silent, and they take what they are given. Now, listen, I was told I was a diabetic type 2. I said, y'all got me mixed up. I didn't get aggressive, but I said, are you sure that you're talking about me and not my sister? And they said, yeah, it's you. I said, okay. And what ended up happening, they said, well, you're going to come back for more testing. I went back for more testing. This time it was fasting, the fasting in the AC1. And the doctor looked at me and said, yep, you're a diabetic type 2. Since you're on the verge of it, you are. That's what he told me. And I said, okay. I said, so what can we do about this? What are my numbers? I didn't talk to him with aggression in my voice. It may sound like it now because my voice was deep. But I didn't talk to him with aggression. I talked to him with common sense and with confidence in what I was relating back to him, what I knew about diabetes, from having a father who had diabetes over 60-some years and eventually died from it by strokes that are associated with diabetes. So I said, my AC1 numbers are 5.1. That's not a diabetic. That's what I told him. And he said, well, we just want to put you on the pill so you can go ahead and lose some weight. So you see, when you have direct communication, guess what? You can get a direct answer whenever you speak up about what you know and you have confidence in what you're talking about. You can get effective results. If I had sat there and just let that man just tell me I had anything, they would have gave me anything. They would have had me taking all kind of meds. Guess what? I went about 4 months ago and did all my blood work and stuff, and they looked and it was like, oh, you're doing really good. I said, I know, because I ain't eating like that. I ain't eating junk food like that, and I am getting out exercising and stuff. So, see, there's always solutions to every situation, and sometimes the solution can be difficult or hard to admit that you need to do, but once you start doing it, guess what? The sooner you start doing it, the sooner you can get results, and you can get healthy results from it. Does anybody have any questions or comments so far? Any questions or comments so far? Okay, so let me tell you the benefits. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Of being assertive. Number one, and you can write this down because I know we all go through a bit of anxiety. If anybody was to say they don't have anxiety, I would say, what planet do you live on? Because at some point, there's something out here that kind of gets to us every once in a while. You may not have it all the time, but at some point, you do run across anxiety. It may not even last for 5 minutes or 2 minutes. But when you have an anxiety, that feels like an hour. So being assertive, the first thing is, the benefit of it is less anxiety. We face our fears, when we face our fears of upsetting others and let them know what we really want and need, our fears diminish. And you realize that once you start speaking up for yourself, that, you may actually get a reaction from people that's opposite from what you thought, how they were going to react. A lot of people might have thought I was going to go crazy, but, it was an opposite reaction. You will never know until you speak up for yourself. I'm one of those people, I don't like to make people's jobs hard. I'm going to use this example. But I was at Bojangles today, and I had not ate since yesterday. And, I finally got a moment to myself and to get out and, just really mingle out and get some fresh air. And I ordered the 3-piece chicken box, and they gave me my chicken, and they forgot to give me my slaw. And when I got chicken, it was old looking. It was old looking, y'all. When I tell y'all, this is supposed to eat fried chicken, and my chicken got to be right. But I went back to the window. I said, excuse me, ma'am, this chicken is old. And I said, and y'all didn't give me my slaw. So she goes over there. She says, okay, well, you can keep that. And she gives me a new box. This box only has 2 pieces of chicken in it. And guess what? That chicken was old, too. And guess what? They still didn't give my slaw. So I had to drive back around again. And I said, ma'am, you didn't give me my slaw, and you still gave me old chicken. I said, would you eat this? I mean, just being real, would you eat this? I mean, when I tell y'all this chicken was tore up from the floor up, the skin was saggy, it wasn't no crisp on it. I mean, it wasn't no brown or nothing. It was just raggedy. It was raggedy chicken what they was giving me. I said, would you eat this? I held it up. And she said, ma'am, I don't know. I've never tasted it looking like that. And she said, hold up. Let me go get my manager. And the manager said, well, ma'am, this is fresh chicken. And I said, it doesn't look fresh. Would you eat it? And she said, okay, no, I wouldn't. I said, okay. And she said, do you got 7 minutes? I said, yes, I do. I got time. I can wait. And that ended that. They didn't get the reaction that they thought they was going to get. They probably thought I was going to pull around and be one of those women who was like, y'all done messed up my chicken. Now, y'all take this, get my money back. They thought I was going to be one of those women that want to raise Cain. Instead, I was one of those women that was trying to show them that, look, you can't fool people when it looks right there. It's right there. I don't have to talk nasty to you to get results. I'm not going to talk nasty to you to get results. What is that going to do? Run my blood pressure up, cause me to have anxiety and stuff? No, I'm not going to put my sanity at risk like that. And some of y'all today are putting your sanity at risk because you of fear of other folks' reaction. You're thinking that people are going to react to you in a certain way if you speak up for yourself. Well, you'll never know until you speak up. And guess what? If you speak up, chances are they're going to stop reacting to you in that way. Even if they do come back negative, you're still going to have a positive attitude because guess what? Once you start speaking up for yourself, you feel stronger internally. Internally, you feel stronger. Your confidence goes up. You'll be like, yes, I did that. I did that. When I left from there, I said, ooh, they hooked me up. They gave me some pretty chicken now. Pray to God they ain't put no spit on it. For many times I came around there. But the chicken I finally got was good. I got good results. Everything was hot. It was perfect. And that's how it can be in your world on today, that when you start speaking up for yourself. I'm not going to say it's going to be perfect like my chicken, y'all. That was chicken, y'all. You didn't know how that is. That's just for saying. It may not be perfect, but you're going to get as close to what you need and what you want by speaking up for yourself and trusting God with that. Trusting God that he will give people the reaction that you need. And sometimes God will allow people to react to you in a negative manner just so you can learn how to speak up and be bold for yourself without having aggressive and without being passive. Remember, I told you, passive people only speak up once they get filled up with so much. That once they get built up with so much anger and warring on the inside, that's when passive people all of a sudden burst out. And you don't want to get to the point in life where you are passive and anxiety takes over your life. You know, there are so many mental health cases right now. Those people ain't mentally depressed. Those people just need to be taught how to speak up for themselves. They don't know because our environment, it goes back to our environment, how we were raised, the people we were raised around. Who took care of us the most is whose personality we will take on. My dad took care of me the most. I took on my dad's personality. Now, my brothers and sisters, every one of my brothers and sisters, including my son, they took on my mama's personality. But me and my daughter, we took on my daddy's because that's who we was mostly with. So whoever you're around can influence your response and how you speak to people. It can influence how you relate to people. Amen? All right, so the next thing is, number 2 is, the benefits of being assertive is it can lessen depression. Asking for what you want can lead to greater fulfillment in getting your needs met, which can lift your spirits up. Once you start seeing things are getting done, your spirit gets lifted. It gives you a boost, and you're able to view yourself, and you're just you're going to be just in such a better mood now that you're taking care of yourself, and you're going to respect yourself more, your self-worth more. You're going to see how important you are and how important God thinks that you are, enough that he will allow you to speak up for yourself and get things done. In relationships, a lot of people don't speak up for themselves, and they become depressed. That's why when you see the women acting out toward men who don't really talk to them, who are avoided partners. If you don't know what avoided partners is, that is the partners where you get in the house and y'all are living together and everything, and he's not speaking to you, you're not speaking to him. You want to speak. You want to speak, but you're afraid of what he says. So it can allow you to speak up in that moment and be less depressed and, be able to relate your needs to that guy who's been avoided to you. It's a lot of women right now in relationships like that. So it will lessen your depression, and it will boost your mood up and your confidence to continue speaking up for yourself, because you know that you don't have to put up with this, but you choose to put up with it. Passive people sit there and it's a choice. They choose to put up with it because they feel like they don't have a choice. You have a voice. As long as you have a voice, or you got some pencil and paper where you can write it down what you need to say, look at a bank robber. What would he do? He walk in there and hand the teller a piece of paper. Look how effective that is. It scares the life out of them. He may get some money. He'll get caught in the end, but he's relating what he wants. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be able to speak up like that, because you control your needs. You control your life. Amen. So it lessens depression. Another benefit, the third benefit of being assertive, is greater self-esteem. When we speak with assertive behavior and communication, we practice self-respect. We are honoring our needs. We are honoring ourselves when we speak up. We enhance our value, how we view ourselves. We provide validation of our perspective by asserting our needs to others. So we don't need anybody else's validation, because when we speak up for ourselves, guess what? That's our validation right there. When we speak up for ourselves, we see ourselves worthy enough to say, yes, I deserve that job. Yes, I deserve that promotion. Yes, you need to really take me out to somewhere besides McDonald's. I deserve to have a nice romantic meal. Now, I sound aggressive, but y'all, it's how my voice sounded. It's raspy, so, and I feel like I sound aggressive. But, you're able to speak up for yourself like that. You're able to relate, assert those needs out there. Okay, the fourth benefit of being assertive is greater sense of agency. When you swallow your needs, and I've done this so many times, y'all. In the past, I did it, I know, from the time I was 20 on up till I got out of that last relationship. I swallowed my needs, and I felt powerless. And there was times where I did feel like I was a pushover. I felt like people could just get over on me. I felt like they could just get over on me because I never took the chance and the risk to speak up against them. Do you know, I probably would have been out of some of those relationships a lot sooner if I would have spoke up instead of being passive and instead of taking it and not realizing that I am worthy of the best. I could have been out of some of those relationships way before now. But because I swallowed my needs, I never spoke up for anything